Testing, got it. Hey. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Road to a Million show. Road to a Million show on YouTube. Go to Road to a Million show and join us. Subscribe, hit the button, like it, subscribe to it, ring the bell. The bell is a reminder, though. The bell's going to remind you to that we're on when we're on. Sometimes the time gets a little wiggly, a little wobbly, so we don't necessarily start on the hour. But the bell, if you hit the bell, it'll tell you we are going on, and Road to a Million show is ready for you. You won't miss a single episode. I think we got some good stuff. We're going to talk about some good things today. I got a good list for you today. This is the Road to a Million show. I'm Daron C Campbell, the hardest working man in real estate, your real estate mentor, and we are all going to the top. And we're going together. And the way we're going to go together is we're going to learn some things and apply some things, and it's a great time to implement those things because 2020 is upon us. Remember when it was just the year 2000? Remember Y2K and all those things that were associated with the turn of the century? And now it is 20 years later. Can you believe that? 20 years have gone by like that. I remember people were running out buying water and generators and all kinds of things because they thought the world was going to shut down in the year 2000. You remember that? That was 20 years ago. What were you doing then? Wow. I feel like it was like last week we were talking about that. It was 20 years. It was 20 years ago. Go look at a picture of yourself from 20 years ago. That'll tell you how long it's been. I don't know if you like what you see, but it's a reminder of how fast the time can go, right? All right. I got my tribe over here on Facebook Live. What's up, tribe? I got the whole new crew of listeners. Thanks to Speedy and Nick and the gang at Rollout Studios. We are growing. We are growing rapidly. And we're excited about that growth because we want to take this worldwide. We want to take this platform. We want to take this program, and we want to take this group, this tribe, this family, and we want to traverse the world. We want to go worldwide with it. And so if you like what you see, visit us on YouTube. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Ring the bell, and you'll help us grow. That's what we need. We need growth. So it's It's a fun thing. It's a fun thing. I'm gonna today is gonna be a fun day. I'm going to speak to a few hundred real estate agents in Beverly Hills. We're gonna help them get on track with their goals for 2020. So I'm gonna help you get on track with yours. How's that? Why don't we do some things to help you get yourself ready? I'm gonna go through this list of things that things you should improve upon or look to try to improve upon on a daily basis. I love this list. It's a compilation of ideas from mentors of mine. Some of my mentors don't know that they're my mentors, but these are from mentors of mine. People like Tony Robbins and Jim Rohn and Zig Ziglar. People like that. I study people like that, and I pick up ideas and thoughts from them and sprinkle a little bit of my own stuff on top of that, and hopefully it's something that can be helpful to you. So that's what we're going to talk about today. That's what we're going to get into today. I also am going to recommend a book today, which we're going to do on a regular basis. Today's book, and I'll tell you right now at the top of the show, the book is called Man Up by Daron Culian. Oh man, I always mess up his last name. Daron Culian. The book is called Man Up, and the subtitle is How to Cut the Bullshit and Kick Ass in Business and Life. It is a very, very good book. See that? See that tribe right there? Man Up. See that? Got that, Nick? Man Up. It is an excellent book. I had the pleasure of meeting Daron. I spoke at Billie Jean Marketing's annual summit, and Daron was one of the speakers as well, and he gave me the book. Did he sign my book? Let me see. I don't know if Daron signed my book. I got to get him to sign my book. It's a very good book because it's really about cutting the crap, and we need to cut the crap and go about our business. So let me tell you a little bit about what else it says. Get off your ass and make your someday goals a priority. Nick is breaking his cell phone over there. The book teaches you how to get off your ass and make your someday goals a priority today. And see, that's a very important thing for all of us to start realizing, because tomorrow is not even promised to us. But also, if you don't start making your goals and your objectives a priority starting now, then 20 years is going to go by and you'll still be thinking about what you want to do with yourself, what you want to do with your life. You see how fast we got from here, from Y2K to here. 20 years, it felt like the blink of an eye, right? Well, the next 20 years is going to do the same thing. And if you sit where you're sitting and don't get off your butt and make something happen, and if you don't man up, and that goes for men and women, if you don't man up, 20 years is going to go by and you're going to be stagnant, or even worse, you're going to be in a worse position than you are today, and you're going to regret not taking the action. And the funny thing is, and you'll see in my list that I'm going to go down with you today, there's some little things that ensure the growth process. There's some little things you can do to grow yourself. So while I spend a lot of time talking about real estate and talking about money and talking about those kinds of things, there's also some principles that you can apply to better yourself that aren't as specific as, hey, invest in apartment buildings. I believe that you should use real estate and other vehicles like it to grow your wealth. But at the same time, to get to that point where you're able to do it, you need to implement some small daily disciplines, some principles, some ideas. And that's what I'm going to share with you today. I got 10 things I think you should implement or improve upon on a daily basis, and that will ensure your growth. And when you grow, you get better. And when you get better, you get more capabilities. And when you get more capabilities, you can expand your horizons, like investing in real estate. So you see, I could wake up in the morning, I could yell at you every day, oh, go buy real estate, go buy real estate. But a lot of people don't have the wherewithal to buy real estate today. So if you don't begin the process of getting better, then you won't get to the point at which you can invest in real estate. So I understand where some of you live. I get it. You might turn off my show because you say, this dude don't talk about nothing but investing in real estate, and I can't even pay the rent this month. So we're going to go beyond the larger principle and go into the concepts a little bit. Now, today we are supposed to have a major credit repair expert here, and we're supposed to bring Speedy here to start working on getting Speedy at home, which is what we're going to do in the first quarter of 2020. However, our credit repair expert is not feeling well today, so we'll have her here on the very next show. And then we're going to have Speedy here on that show as well, and we're going to start the process of getting Speedy at home. We gotta. It's the Get Speedy a House campaign, and Speedy is going to become a homeowner in the first quarter of 2020, and we're gonna make it happen, and you're gonna get to watch it happen. So get ready for that; it's coming. But in the meantime, we're going to talk about some things that are going to help you launch your 2020 and help you make your 2020 a productive, positive year. And we're going to do it by implementing some philosophies of things that you can start to implement into your life right away. Okay? Let's start with number 1. Okay, so first on my list is it's very important. It is imperative to your success and to your proliferation. You know, I like that word. It's essential that you learn the power of purpose. Purpose. Now, why is purpose so important? Because purpose is the thing that pushes you into the future. Purpose. So if you have a purpose for yourself, for your life, and it's a sophisticated way of saying you have goals. But a purpose is a bigger thing than a bunch of goals. Purpose is the meaning behind what it is you're doing, what it is you're aiming for, what it is you're going for. Ask yourself, and a lot of people don't do this. Ask yourself, what is my purpose? And I always tell people, I believe you should live on purpose, and you should. And by living on purpose, that means you're living with an objective, with a meaning, with a plan, with a direction. You see, people who have purpose or have a purpose have a direction. And it's great if you can boil it all down to one big thing. So I feel like it's partly my purpose to help people learn their purpose and grow financially. I believe that, but layered on top of that is the concept that I always drop on you guys, that you got to improve your brain, your body, and your bank account. I believe my purpose is to help people learn that philosophy, learn those philosophies and tactics behind them, and become better people. I just think, okay, you say, Daron, what's your global purpose? I think that's what it is. I think I've been put here, and I've gone through the things I've gone through because my purpose is to help other people grow, find their purpose, and prosper. There it is. Figured it out. There it is. If you haven't sat down and thought about and asked yourself, what is your purpose? Then I would suggest that you're probably not as successful or productive as you might want to be. There it is. Okay. A purpose, again, I say it pushes you toward the future. Purpose also pulls you through the difficult times. Think about it. When you're having a bad day or a bad week or a bad month or even a bad year, when you have a purpose, that purpose will pull you through the fire of those difficult times because you remember what it is you're really here to do. It's your big picture. And so a bad day or even a bad year is not enough to make you give up because you have a purpose. And it's very profound when you think about it. And, it's great if you can share your purpose with other people. I think that helps you become accountable so that you stay on purpose and you live on purpose and you have other people who hold you to your purpose. But it's just something that will help you think in terms of growth every single day. What is your purpose? So make it a point that sometime in the next few days, you decide what your purpose is. And the coolest thing about purpose is there is absolutely no limit to purpose. I mean, imagine Barack Obama thought he had a purpose about 20 years ago, and he set about the task of trying to grow into that giant purpose. Imagine. I mean, how many people had a purpose bigger than his? The guy thought he could be the first African-American president in a world that we thought we'll never see that in our lifetimes. Didn't you think that? You thought? I thought it. I even heard, I was listening to an old comic routine by, I think it was Chris Rock, and he was making a joke about how there'll never be a black president, not in our lifetime. This was about 20 years ago he did this routine. And lo and behold, a guy with a crazy, big, ambitious purpose became the first African-American president, probably way sooner than any of us thought we would see one. There you go, the power of purpose. All right, that's number one. Number two, a lot of you have heard a rendition of this list before, but it bears repeating because it's a new year. Another year has gone by. I'm sure I haven't done this list or anything like this list exactly in the last year, but look, another year has gone by. Okay, number 2 on our list, self-confidence. Okay, self-confidence. Now, that's a tricky one because every time we get hit or knocked down or knocked backwards, our self-confidence tends to take a hit. Well, I want you to I'm gonna give you a formula, give you a little secret to continual self-confidence. Let me tell you what that is. Doing the daily disciplines leads to impeccable, incredible self-confidence. You want to know why? Because when you do the daily disciplines, you're doing the things that you know you need to do. Now, we talked about that the other day when we talked about the one thing, right? When I told you about the one thing book. Well, doing the daily disciplines, like if you know you need to work out and you know you need to work out, you do it on a daily basis. If you know you're in real estate and you know you need to prospect, it's doing it every day. It's if you want to teach your child to read, you want to spend that 20 minutes every day reading with them. It's doing the daily disciplines that breeds self-confidence. Your self-confidence comes from knowing that you did what you're supposed to do and you're going in a direction. It's not I'm self-confident in the world of sales and I just want to wake up and have all that confidence. I get confident in the world of sales because I do the daily disciplines every day, which essentially means practice selling every day. Speaking, you guys think, you all know this, you can't just wake up and give a great speech. You can't wake up and just be a great speaker, presenter. You have to practice it. I've probably spoken 500 times. If you add things like this show to it, I've probably spoken a couple thousand times. And I still have much more to improve upon. Well, doing the daily disciplines are the things that gets you to that level of self-confidence. So I'm telling you the steps that'll get you there, okay? It comes from daily disciplines and that's what makes you feel good about yourself, and feeling good about yourself is what leads to self-confidence. So our big number 2 is self-confidence, and the formula for getting there is doing the right things every day and doing whatever it takes to do those things every day, and then, rising above your circumstances and continuing to do what you know you need to do. Life's going to happen. Stuff's going to happen. Obstacles are going to happen. But it's the people that continue to do what they know they need to do that gain the self-confidence. And when you gain the self-confidence, you get better at everything that you're trying to accomplish. Make sense? I think it makes incredible sense. Okay, let's go to number 3. Number 3, you've heard this one before, enthusiasm. Enthusiasm is a major ingredient in your formula for success, okay? If we were baking a success cake right now, enthusiasm would be a huge ingredient in it. And here's the thing. A lot of people confuse enthusiasm with like kind of wild, reckless excitement, right? Like one of those annoyingly happy people. Well, that's not exactly what I'm talking about. And the exterior enthusiasm is probably about 10 to 20% of the enthusiasm equation. The bigger portion of the enthusiasm is internal enthusiasm. You being excited about you and your ability to go and make something good happen. So you see the power of purpose, which is number one, and the self-confidence, which is number two, are things that are reflected and then help create internal enthusiasm. You see how that works? You see how the power of purpose and a level of self-confidence can help increase your internal enthusiasm about you, about yourself, about your life, about your prospects. That's what I'm talking about the most. That's 80-90% of the equation. The outward stuff, the excitement that the world sees, really starts on the inside and it comes out. And that's what authentic enthusiasm is all about. It's not all about being a cheerleader, rah, 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 let the whole world think that you're in a good mood all the time. It's not that. It starts on the inside and then it pours out of you as a result of you being an enthusiastic person, not showing a little bit of enthusiasm every time somebody walks in your front door. It's about being an enthusiastic person. Got it? Got it. Starts on the inside and it bubbles out. That's a good way to put it. It starts on the inside and it bubbles out of you. Okay, that's 3. Let's go to number 4. All right, excuse me. Number 4. It is expertise. Expertise. Now, this one gets lost on a lot of people because they feel like what they're doing is not meaningful enough. They feel like what they're up to right now is not important enough, and so they give half of an effort, or they give less than a superior effort because they don't feel like they are important enough. But you got to reverse engineer this idea, because expertise is something that if you give your best effort, then you grow and you become a person of expertise. You become an expert. So whatever it is you're doing, the habit has to be that you do it with everything you have. You do it, you settle for nothing less than outstanding of yourself. You demand outstanding effort, outstanding performance of yourself. And so that expertise is like a building block. It might even be like a domino. You give your best effort in this one thing, and that will invariably lead you to other things. See, a lot of people think, how on earth do I get to success from here? Well, success starts here. You got to understand, success, you can't jump from here to success. That's why we call it road to a million. It's not walk into the magic box and get, go into and get propelled into the future instantly. It's a road. It's a path, and you have to start where you are. You'll never just wake up and find yourself wildly successful. Success begins here. And so expertise is something that you need to deliver. And so it begins by doing the absolute best at what it is you're doing right now. You see, a lot of people think, well, this job is I'm not going to be at this job for long, so why should I care? But that's the opposite of what a successful person, an ultimately successful person, will do. I don't care if you are a janitor or a street sweeper or a ditch digger. You need to demand excellence, demand outstanding performance of yourself. Do that job better than anybody else has ever done that job, and watch how good things happen. I'm here to tell you that's how great things happen. That's where success begins. And so that's what I want you guys to do. Demand nothing short of expertise of yourself. See, you get to expertise by demanding performance. Okay? When you look in the mirror, can you honestly look yourself straight in the face and say, I gave my best today. I demanded outstanding performance of myself today. A lot of us don't, because we don't feel like we are where we're going to be ultimately. But what you're missing is, it is how you get to where you're going to be ultimately. Does that make sense? I hope so, because that's about the realest thing I can tell you. That's absolutely real. Okay, number 5. You ready? Number 5 is totally related to expertise, but it's different. Number 5 is preparation. Okay, preparation. So look, 2020 is about to get here, and you have an opportunity right now to begin to prepare yourself for the coming year. You're ready to prepare yourself for what it is you're ultimately going to become. And the way you prepare to do that is you got to plan. You got to make a plan. You can't just, nobody succeeds by mistake. As much as you might not believe me, no one succeeds by mistake. Success is deliberate. Success. You know what? I heard something. You know what? Jim Rohn said. Jim Rohn said, excuse me. He said, life doesn't waste success on the unprepared. Oh man, that's good. That's good. Life does not waste success on the unprepared. And you can flip that around and say, as a result, prepared people are the ones who succeed. So don't just wing it. Don't just, wait for a fortuitous accident to happen, and then that's where your fame and fortune is going to come from. No. A lot of people don't know this story about the Beatles. The Beatles took the U.S. by storm, right? Well, I read something that said the Beatles performed, before they became famous, the Beatles performed something like 1,200 nights in like a 4-year period in these little bars and clubs. Like just performed and performed and performed and performed to the point where they had their act, their routine, their music, their cadence to near perfection. And then when they took America by storm, like people thought, well, where'd this band come from? They came out of nowhere. They didn't come out of nowhere. They were probably the most prepared band in history, thus becoming the most successful band in history. So don't think success happens by mistake. Success comes to the prepared. Prepare yourself. You're a salesperson. You're a real estate person. Prepare tonight for your attack on the marketplace tomorrow. Don't just wake up tomorrow and go, all right, let's see where the business comes from. Because guess what? It ain't coming. It's not coming to find you. You have to prepare for it. And if you prepare for it, strangely, it shows up. You got to be prepared. Life does not waste success on the unprepared. Woo-wee. Boy, oh boy, that's real. That is real, people. That is real. All right. That's 5. We are halfway through the list. Let's take a short 2-minute break, and we're going to come back with the second half of the list. You ready? I'm Daron C Campbell, the hardest working man in real estate, your real estate mentor. This is the Road to a Million show. We'll see you in 2 minutes. All right. We are back on the Road to a Million show. This is the Road to a Million show. At Road to, no, I was going to say roadtoamillionshow.com. No, go to YouTube, go to Road to a Million show on YouTube, click like, click subscribe, click chat with us, say, hey, I love that show, and then hit that bell. Click on that bell, and then you'll get reminded every time we're on the air, and that's the way to help us. That's the way to not miss us. That's the way to join the tribe, and that's where we're going to grow our audience of 10 million people. How about that? Can we affect 10 million people? Believe it or not, you can. So why don't you think about that, but make sure you subscribe, spread the word, tell your friends, tell your loved ones. I got my tribe over here that's with me all the time. Angie and Latanya and cousin Eric and Ronaldo and T, and the list goes on and on. I can't name them all, but those folks are consistent. They keep me moving. I'm noticing in the comments that they love Nick's music. Angie, I can't tell you where Nick gets that music. He'd have to kill you. That music is top secret stuff, and so it's all music, by the way, that we get to use because it's in the public domain. So Facebook doesn't put me in jail for playing it, but that's Nick's secret. Okay, Angie. So stop asking where the music came from. Just listen, crank it up loud, and bump your head to it like that. Okay. All right. We're having fun today. We're talking about 10 ways to improve. We're trying to improve ourselves. We're trying to get ready for 2020. We're trying to get better. We're trying to grow. And so I'm going down a list of things you can do to improve yourself. And these are like surefire ways to get better. These are like real ways. I don't like to just give you a bunch of platitudes and give you some idealistic words. I want to give you some real stuff with some real ways to actually get better. A lot of stuff is just cheap talk and chatter. What I'm trying to do is trying to give you some concepts with some practical applications. There you go. And if you learn the concept and then you do the practical application behind it, you cannot help but improve yourself. And if we get better, then we get to help other people. And if we help other people, then we grow, they grow, everything around us grows. And I think that's a good way to do it. So, cause you don't want to get better, and be in a great place by yourself. And, I always talk about sometimes you gotta let some people go, and sometimes you gotta leave some folks behind. But the truth is, we don't really want to leave people behind. I'm not like looking to eliminate people. I don't want to eliminate losers. I'd rather not have any losers in my life. So if I help other people around me, if I help the people I love and care about get better as well, then we take the road to a million ride together. Isn't that more fun? I think that's good. I'm actually sending somebody a text right now because they keep texting me. I'm saying, look, I'm on the air. Shut up and tune into the show. Jeez. So they'll stop texting me. They just listen to the show. They'll know, number one, I'm busy. And number two, stop texting me in the middle of the show. Let's see. All right, I'm done with that. Boom. Done. Okay. So that's another way to spread the word. I'm spreading the word. So let's continue with the list, ladies and gentlemen. Let's continue with the list. We number one, we did the power of purpose. Number two, we did self-confidence. Number three, we talked about enthusiasm. Number four, we talked about expertise. And number five, we talked about preparation. There's more. Let's go to number six. All right, number six. This is a big one. Self-reliance is number six. Self-reliance is number six, and it's important because what it'll do, if you start to develop this thing called self-reliance, then what you'll begin to do is, instead of pointing fingers, instead of blaming others, instead of blaming society and blaming the man and blaming God, you will start to look to yourself. You will look at yourself. You will look in the mirror. You will rely on you. You will rely on the person in the mirror, and you'll stop blaming society. You'll stop telling everyone else that your problems are because of someone else. Do you get it? And if you do that, oh my goodness. All right. If you cut that out, see, a lot of people play the blame game, right? People play the blame game, and what that is just a big fat excuse. And if you get rid of the excuses in your life, you will find that you become more resourceful. You will find that you never have to complain or explain. You become self-reliant. You're thinking of yourself as the responsible party. Wait, hold on. This person is trying to find the show. Goodness gracious, you guys. Tell all your friends it's Road to a Million Show on YouTube. And so here's the thing. So I hear all kinds of people every day in my coaching business. I hear people every day full of excuses, full of blame, full of, here's why, here's who did this, here's who didn't give me that. And I really think that it's important that you start to take self-responsibility and make it a big thing. Everything I have or don't have, every place I am in life or am not, is because of me. It's because of me. You have made this bed. You have to sleep in it. If you make yourself 100% accountable for all that is going on in your world, then you'll find that you'll stop bailing yourself out with excuses. I love the idea of you'll never complain and you'll never have to explain, because it all starts and stops with you. So whatever you've got, whatever you don't have, whatever you want, or whatever you plan to achieve and haven't yet, it's 100% because of you. You can't blame the economy because look around. Okay, some people say the economy sucks. I hear real estate agents telling me all the time that the market is getting worse. The market's not great. But I could identify 20 real estate agents that make over $1 million. Now, why doesn't it suck for them? You want to know why? Because they're not busy looking for excuses. They're busy working. They're busy making it happen. So, in whatever your chosen field or profession is, stop making excuses. If you're not in the career that you dream of or that you ideally would have. Whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? If you think you really should be a great lawyer, let's say, but you're busy, being a librarian. I've been picking on librarians a lot lately. But if you're a librarian, but you should be a lawyer, you feel like you would be a great attorney, then it's up to you to enroll in some classes, start preparing yourself to go to law school. It's all 100% up to you. And when you get out of the excuse business, you're going to find your level of success will start to come at you faster. I hear constant excuses from people about why it's not going their way. And you know what? What I really want to do is I want to pull out a big mirror from under my desk, and I want to hold that mirror up to their face. And I go, there's the person responsible right there. Go look in the mirror right now, and you'll be looking at the person who's most responsible for your lot in life, for your station in life. That's the person most responsible. Put the blame on that person and do something about it. Become self-reliant. That's big principle number 6. All right? Let's go to big principle number 7. Something that you always have to be cognizant of. It is image. Your image. Now, ask yourself right now, what is my image? What is the image other people have of me? That's the first half of the equation. Think about the image people have of you, the way you speak, the way you present, the way you interact with people. That is a very, very important equation, because many of your opportunities, many of your life chances are affected by the image that you portray on the outside. Think about it. There are people who don't get jobs, who don't get promotions, who don't get opportunities because of the way they present. Now, is that fair? No, it's not fair all the time, but is it reality? Absolutely. It's reality. Understand it. You could hate it, but it's not going away. So the way you project, the image that you portray absolutely affects your success. It affects the speed at which you succeed. It affects how other people decide to interact with you. And here's the key. As much as self-reliance is a big thing, and that was why it was number 6 on our list, it is also imperative that if you create an image of yourself that people respect or admire, people can help accelerate your success by appreciating the image that you portray. Then the second part of that equation is your self-image. How do you think of yourself? Are you somebody that you respect? Oh boy, that's a heavy one right there. Are you worthy of your own respect? A lot of people do not respect themselves, which is why they could do some things that aren't very honorable or aren't very, legal even. Many people they fail to have self-respect. And if you don't respect yourself, you'll lower your standard to anything. And so you really have to be careful with the image you portray to the outside world and the image you have of yourself. Okay? Those are big. Don't let down on your image. All right, let's keep it moving. We're going to number 8. Number 8 is character. Now that's an offshoot of that image thing we talked about. Character is it's a big deal because it feeds everything else that goes on in your life. If people feel like you're a person of character, then they will trust you. They will support you. They will look out for you. They will back you. They will. Oh my gosh! It goes on and on. The ancillary effects of being a person who's thought of as a person of character are far-reaching, and a lot of people don't appreciate that, or they cut corners in that character department, and then your integrity gets to be questionable, and a lot of things spiral out of control, or a lot of opportunities don't come your way because of that. So there's a domino effect when your character is in question. So don't take it lightly. Your character is a big deal. Okay? All right. Let's keep it moving because, man, the time is flying. So character's number 8. Let's go to number 9. Number 9 is self-discipline. Oh, my goodness. How important is self-discipline? It is everything. Okay, so when we were back on number 2, which was self-confidence, and number 1, the power of purpose. Those are absolute offshoots of number 9, self-discipline. Self-discipline is the ability to show up and step up every time, all the time. It takes like a collective of people with self-discipline to make everything great happens. We couldn't do this show if Nick and Speedy didn't have the self-discipline to show up and keep the lights on. We couldn't do this show if Marlon and I didn't come up with the subject matter and push it out there to people. It takes the self-discipline of doing the daily things in order to make anything of substance happen. And so if you surround yourself with people who have self-discipline, boy, oh boy, the effects can be exponential. Your life can take a major shift in a short period of time if you practice self-discipline and surround yourself with people who do the same. Think about that. Think of the self-discipline it took for Bill Gates and Paul Allen to develop Microsoft. They were in a garage learning how to program, learning how to write code. And they did it day after day after day after day. And they had the self-discipline to keep coming back. I mean, think about it. It was just an idea. I don't even think they had any idea how big of an idea it was. But they just had an idea, and they had the discipline to stick to it. Self-discipline is continuing when you don't see results. Self-discipline is continuing to put out the effort regardless of how many setbacks there are. Self-discipline is what keeps a person on, number 1, purpose. Self-discipline is what will keep you on your purpose, even when you don't know how close you are to striking gold. It's what keeps you digging, even when you don't know where the gold is. You're on a purpose. You got a purpose. You got the self-discipline to come and shovel every day. That's what self-discipline is, and it is a monster in the formula for success. It is a huge thing in this cake we're baking called success. Self-discipline. Practice it. You will see major changes in your life, in your fortune, in your existence if you implement a little self-discipline every day. And that goes back to the one thing. So start with one thing. What is the one thing you know you need to do every day in order to ensure your growth and your success? Do that thing every day. Just do that one thing. Don't burden yourself with 50 things you have to do every day. Do one. Do the one most important thing. Just make sure you don't go to sleep at night before you do that one thing, and do it every day and do it consistently and have the self-discipline to continue even when you don't see the big results, because I guarantee you the big results will come as a result of continually doing the thing. Okay? I read something that I kind of burned it into my brain. Success is not about doing everything right. It's about doing the right thing. Whoa. Is that heavy? Self-discipline to do the right thing. The right thing. You don't have to do everything right. You just have to do the right thing. Wow. Plug some self-discipline on top of that and look out. Watch your success start to just multiply. Okay, number 10 on the list. Number 10 on the list is extraordinary performance. That means, in other words, demanding excellence, demanding excellent results. So the reason, and that might sound similar to some other things, but it's not, because it's about the results. Demand excellent results. And it's kind of related to like thinking big. It's kind of related to like the magic, that book, The Magic of Thinking Big, emphasizes this. Expect and demand extraordinary results. And as a result of that, your performance will lean towards being excellent. It's not just demanding a lot of yourself. Demand extraordinary results. And what you package with that is extraordinary performance. You have to demand an extraordinary performance from yourself. And as a result of matching that up with expectation of extraordinary results, that's how great things happen. That's how great things happen. It's not when you do something sloppy or messy or lazily. It's the expectation of excellence, the expectation of extraordinary results is what drives you at a different level. You see, it's what pushes us to a different place. And I remember I was just joking with Marlon the other day, talking about how Mr. DeLuise in the 11th grade gave me the only B on my high school report card because he said my penmanship was messy, was sloppy. I could not believe he downgraded my A to a B. This is on an otherwise straight A report card, ladies and gentlemen. He gave me the only B I got because he said my penmanship was sloppy and he called me lazy. He says, you can write neatly. Everybody can write neatly. You're just lazy. And he touched off a major upheaval and protest. My football coach, my mother, everybody complained because this dude messed up my perfect report card. But the point is, he thought I was being lazy. And hey, maybe I was being lazy. I knew the material. I would think I was the smartest dude in the class. But at the same time, he felt like I was mailing in the effort to write neatly. And so, if I hold the mirror up to myself, then I should really identify with the idea that I wasn't having extraordinary expectations of my handwriting. As ridiculous as I think it is, and I thought it was, he actually taught me something. If I had demanded more of myself in that department, then I wouldn't have cost myself a perfect report card. Think about it. So I could turn it around on Mr. DeLuise. I've been mad at him for 30 years, but if I look in the mirror, if I do what I'm telling you guys, if I practice what I preach, I'll look in the mirror and say, you know what? I was being sort of lazy by writing in a not so neat fashion, and that's something I should have improved, something I could have improved. And the net result really turned out to be a big deal because that perfect report card, that perfect track record was something I was striving for, and I wanted to never see a B on a report card. And the fact is, I got one, and I earned it myself. I gave up the perfect report card because I could have been better. So demanding extraordinary results is something that you place on yourself, and if you do it intentionally, if you do it intensely enough, then you will raise your performance because that's what you'll demand. You see, does that make sense? If you demand excellent results, you can't help but put in an excellent performance because that's your standard. And if that became your standard, I could argue that you'd be better off at everything you do. So anything worth doing is worth doing well, right? So if excellence becomes your standard, what do you think people will start to think of you? If it's the standard that you hold, if people know that everything she does at a superior level. So then what happens? The boss thinks, well, I can give her any job because she's going to do it at a superior level. I can promote her because even if I give her like a whole department to run, she's going to run it impeccably. Why? How do I know? Because she does everything impeccably. She dresses impeccably. She shows up impeccably on time. Every assignment I give comes back to me impeccably. Think about that. Think of the domino effect of you demanding excellent results, no matter how small the task. What if you just became the person with an excellent, impeccable reputation in all departments. Imagine what would change in your life. See, a lot of people, they don't hear this, they don't practice this, they gloss this over. They'll hear me preach this sermon, but they don't apply it. But what if you just became known as that impeccable person with an excellent performance, no matter what the assignment, no matter what the job, no matter what the hobby, no matter what the relationship? What if you practiced being extraordinary no matter what? I think really, really, really good things would result, and your life would get better, and people would almost not be able to say exactly why, but it's like, wow, she really turned it around, and they may not understand how you did it. But I'm here to tell you, if you made your performance, the demand of yourself, extraordinary results, no matter what it is, if you're going to bake that cake, if you're going to roast that turkey, do it impeccably. Do it in a great way. And then you start to enjoy the reputation of an impeccable person, and the world will become your oyster. I'm telling you. You might not believe me, but trust me when I tell you that's a fact. Okay, so in closing, in wrapping up this show, I'm going to run down the list of 10 things. If you start to implement these things on a daily basis, just remember the concepts and start doing the little things that help you get to these places. I think your life will improve immensely. Let's go. I'm going to run them down really fast. Number 1, learn the power of purpose. Decide on your purpose. Number 2, start to build self-confidence. And you'll start building that self-confidence by doing the daily disciplines that make you feel better about yourself. So structure and discipline, it really, really helps the self-confidence. Number 3 is enthusiasm. Remember, a lot of your enthusiasm is on the inside, and then it comes out to the outside when you're enthusiastic about yourself. Number 4, expertise. Develop expertise. Anything you do should be it should be worth doing and being great at it. Try to become an expert at something. You see, if you become an expert at something, then money and things like and the trappings of success will find you because you're an expert. All right. Number 5, preparation. Be prepared. Prepare yourself for tomorrow, for next week, for next year, for the next 10 years. Get prepared and good things will follow. Number 6, self-reliance. Stop playing the blame game and blame yourself. Rely on yourself so that you don't have to ask people for anything, so that you don't have to be at the mercy of anyone else. If you're self-reliant, it's all on you, but that's the best place to be, because your success will be because of you and your failures will be because of you. And that's where you grow up. That's what I call adulthood, being self-reliant. 7 is image. Think about your image, protect your image, enhance your image. You could change your image starting today. Flip it around, change your image. Number 8, character. Always keep your character and your integrity intact. Try to be known as a person of character. Okay. Number 9, self-discipline. It might be the most important of all, because self-discipline is what leads you to get better every day by doing those things every day that you know you need to do. And number 10, demand extraordinary results. And as a result, you'll start to demand extraordinary performance from yourself, and good things are bound to happen behind extraordinary performance. Extraordinary results are big things. That's the great stuff. That's the needle moving things that'll change your life for the better. There you go. Those are the 10 things. That's my big list. That's the formula. That's the recipe that I think will help accelerate your success and make your 2020 the best year you've ever had. So that's our whole show for today. You guys get ready, because on the next few episodes, we're going to start the Buy Speedy a House campaign. And so we're going to talk to credit people. We're going to talk to loan people. We're going to talk to real estate people, and we're going to buy Speedy a house. How about that? All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I got for you today. I got to go off and go preach to a bunch of real estate agents. And so I appreciate you being here. Again, go on YouTube, click subscribe, click like, click on the bell so that you get reminded every time we're on. Chat, say something cool in the chat for us, and share and spread the word. Share with all your friends and let them know they should tune into the Road to a Million show. with Daron C Campbell, the hardest working man in real estate, your real estate mentor. I'll see all of you at the top. Peace.